Hey everyone, so if you haven't noticed in my last two videos, which would be the Shoreline tooling plate as well as the De Anza College electronics swap meet that I filmed with my dad, I have come up with this, the Make It With Calvin low cost 3D printable O-ringed microphone. Let's talk about it. So after posting up a photo on my Facebook of the microphone, both Joel, the 3D printing nerd, and Angus from Maker's Muse pretty much said that I needed to make a video about it, and they were right. So I'm going to be pretty much explaining to you in a nutshell how I came up with the design and how you can make your own, and then in another video I will actually show you any assembly processes, but this is more of an overview. So pretty much the concept behind this was when my dad came up for my birthday, he had figured out about the electronic swap meet, and I was like, hey, that's a great idea, let's go. And then I thought, great, if we're gonna be filming there, the microphones in the GoPro might not pick up any conversations we're having. We might be a little distance apart, and I figured just in case we were gonna be talking back and forth, using a lav mic like this would have been a real pain to try and constantly swap out or handhold, or you get the point, it would have been a pain. So I came up with this literally a couple of nights before the event, and I think I assembled it like a day or two before. I think I had paint drying on it like the day before we were going to drive down there and go do that. So another one of those last second great ideas, kind of like the GoPro rig that I'm filming with that I used at the Maker Faire. It was like the need was there, I came up with something, and that's where it went. So to design it was pretty simple. I already had a file with all the necessary O-ring dimensions, which would have been the handle for the GoPro rig. So I just pulled that file out and hollowed out the inside so that the large connector on the end here, this guy, can literally slide down through the body. And then there are two clips, one here and one here with a little slot on the end. Put some hot glue on this guy to hold it in place, so that way I can slip these on and then use a removable adhesive to hold the microphone in place. Now the mic on here is just a low-cost lavalier microphone that I picked up off eBay for no more than 10 bucks. You don't need anything super fancy. I mean, obviously you can use what you have. Just realize that whatever you put in here will become kind of stuck in there. Another thing that I obviously did was I had to put the Make It With Calvin on there, even if the GoPro wasn't going to show it up, because let's face it, it looks really cool. One thing I would say, if you do put text on your microphone, this part, which would be the flag, you definitely don't want to stick the text out any more than a 32nd of an inch. Do use support material if possible, and make the text somewhat big. One thing that I might do on a future one is make it without text, sand the surface, and then make more like a sticker overlay or something. We'll see. The only reason why is because when I painted it, paint tends to make every single imperfection on your print jump out. And well, this is a last second print idea. It was a little bit of a bummer, the fact that it was like, oh cool, yeah, I can see where I had retraction issues because the filament was kind of wet. You know, me just being picky, most people wouldn't care about that, but you know, it all depends upon the level of perfection you're going for. That's really up to you. So I'm going to have a link in the description to where you can download the files for this. I'm going to have two styles. They're not going to have any text on them, so you can add your own text however you want. But I'm going to have two styles. One where it's all one piece like this, where you would print it like this on the print bed, or I'm going to have a second one where the handle and the flag are two separate pieces, so just in case your printer doesn't have the Z capacity to do it as all one piece, you have that as an option, and you can just stick the pieces together and glue them and you're done. Also, it means that you could potentially orient things better for any text you might have or things like that. Just something else to keep in mind. So I hope you guys found this interesting. If you did, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. I promise I've got some pretty awesome stuff coming up. I've got the Thingomatic over here, which was going to do a time lapse for you guys of making this, and I'll show you the failed one at the end. But sadly, you know, like anything else, it worked to a point, and then the Z-axis jammed, and that wasn't pretty. So sorry about that. I was going to try and get a time lapse for you, but I hopefully will be able to do one in the assembly video. We'll see. But I do have more Thingomatic updates coming along the way, and I promise I've probably got some more cool stuff that you might find interesting. So feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys thought a friend might find this interesting, feel free to share it with them and share it on your social media. And I will see you guys next time on Make It with Calvin with wacky things like 3D printable microphone flags and things like that. See you guys later.